All right, so this one time I'm walking down the sidewalk with my friend, and he says, "Oh, we got to stop in this church up here, just for a few minutes. I got to pick up something for my mom." And I was like, "Oh, really? A church?" He's like, "Yeah, it's fine. I mean, I don't go to the church. They don't care." And I'm like, "Oh man, every time I've tried to make friends with church-going people, it's always fine in the beginning that I'm not a believer. But then it quickly becomes apparent that I will never be converted. And then there's all this anger and hatred and I'm the devil and all this stuff. And it's not that I think that it's impossible for there to be a God. I mean, I know it's possible, but I really don't think that it's even remotely possible that it's any of those gods in those books. Like, take the Bible, for example. Now, putting aside all the factual errors, like, the age of the earth, which obviously someone who created it would know. But putting all that aside, the thing that really kills the Bible for me is the fact that it was only written in one language. Now, I just bought a computer hard drive, an external hard drive. You plug it in here, plug it in your USB, and it works. And I opened the little instruction booklet, and it's got German, Italian, Polish, Japanese, Chinese, English, Spanish. I mean, it's got enough languages in the instructions to cover like 99% of the people on the earth. But I'm supposed to believe that while some stupid humans in some factory can figure out that you need to put the instructions in a bunch of different languages, even for this very simple thing, that some all-powerful, all-knowing being is not going to see the problem with putting this out in just one language for this little population of people when there's all these other people speaking all these languages. This dude would know there are people speaking other languages, and I have to presume that someone who knows everything and could see the possible problems coming from putting this out in just one language would say, "Okay, here, I'm putting it out everywhere in all kinds of different languages and everyone's covered." But no, it's only in one language. And that to me says that some guys wrote it and that was the language they spoke. Some human guys. And they're like, "All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to write a book and it's going to be like an instruction manual of how to live. And we're going to make sure we include, has to give us money and a bunch of other stuff that'll work out really well for us. And we'll sign it, signed God. So everyone's going to have to do it or else God's going to get them." So anyway, that's how it makes sense to me. So maybe I'm crazy, I don't know. So anyway, I'm saying to my friend, I don't really want to go into this church. He's like, "Nah, it'll be fine. It'll just be a few minutes. We'll be in and out, no problem. They're having a picnic today anyway." I'm like, "Wait, they're having a picnic? There's going to be like 200 people there who already hate me and just don't realize it yet." But I'm like, "All right, fine. Let's go to the church picnic. I'll just try to blend in for 5-10 minutes. Just don't take too long." So I go in there. And I'm standing near a tree. I notice it's the only tree in the whole place. Everything else is mowed flat. Because I guess God wanted flat, according to the church. And I'm looking around thinking, all right, how do I blend in here? Oh, great, I'm not wearing like penny loafers and a polo shirt, but let me just try to blend in with my behaviors. So I'm looking around, and the first thing I notice is that there's disposable plastic everything. Disposable plastic cups, plastic tablecloths, forks, knives, spoons, bowls, plates, disposable everything. And over here, there's like 30 garbage cans, because they know what they're doing here. They know they're making 30 garbage cans full of garbage, at least. And I'm like, wow, that's kind of messed up, but okay. I guess God's not supposed to care about that, but whatever. So I'm standing there and I'm like, okay, let me do something that's real natural. I'll go up to one of these tables and grab a snack and just eat it in the corner. So what can I take that won't produce more garbage? Here's some carrots. So I grab a few carrot sticks. And I go back and stand by the tree and try to look like I'm casually enjoying my carrot sticks. And I have nothing else I want to do in the world other than stand here and just enjoy the world and eat my carrot sticks. And then I see this guy walk up to the table where I just was. And he goes up to the table. And there's like 3 different, big plastic coolers of liquids of some kind. And then there's a bunch of food and stuff. So the guy goes to the first cooler, grabs one of these big plastic, white on the inside, red on the outside, those disposable cups. And he goes, psh, fills it up with some like fluorescent dye corn syrup stuff. He takes a sip, makes a face, takes it, throws the entire thing into the garbage, full, grabs another cup, goes to the next drink, fills it up, oh, that one's okay. So he moves on to the food. And I'm sitting here standing, watching this, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna have to say something now. So I walk over there with my carrots, casually stand next to the guy as if I'm perusing the food, and I say to him, wow, God's sure gonna be pissed about all this plastic in the ocean, isn't he? And the guy looks at me with the weirdest thing happened. First, he looks at me with this terrified look of guilt, like, oh my God, I've been caught. But it only lasted like a second. Oh, and then it just turned into this disdain and anger, like, how dare you speak for God? There's only one person here who can do that, and I'm going to talk to him right now. Now, we didn't say this all out loud, but I was getting this loud and clear from his face. And he was shaking, and he slammed down his cup, and he slammed down his plate, and he goes stomping off like a 4-year-old who's having a temper tantrum, heading across the field. So, with my carrot sticks, I just casually back away from the table, and I start backing toward the fence. Because I know in a mob situation, it's always good to have an exit. But you don't want it to be an exit that everyone knows is an exit, because if you stand by the actual exit, they'll come and try to block you off. So you have to go toward an exit that looks like you're trapped. So I back up to the fence, because I know I can hop that thing in like half a second. So I back up in the general vicinity of the fence, and once I'm close enough that I know I can make my escape if I really need to, cause a scene, I slow down and look at what's going on, and I see the guy talking to this dude with a black shirt and a white thing here. And the dude, at first, he looks fine. But as the dude is talking to him, this only takes a few seconds, his face turns stern and angry and looks right at me. And then he starts marching straight toward me across this lawn. And I'm standing there with my carrots, and I'm like, oh, what do I do now? I either need this to escalate so I know to make my escape, or I need to diffuse the situation. Let's try humor. So I take my carrot sticks, and I didn't really think about it entirely. I take my carrot sticks, and I go like this to the guy. Back. Now, as I'm doing this, it's processing in my head how this guy is gonna see this. And I'm like, oh, that's not gonna go over well at all. But it's too late, because I'm already doing it, I'm committed. So I'm like, ha-ha, I've got you now, and I don't know what to do. And I'm like, well, the whole situation's lost now. So I hop the fence, and I start walking the other way down the sidewalk. And I'm glancing back at these guys, because like the fence is right here, and they're like just on the other side now. They're coming up. And I'm trying to gauge how pudgy are these guys. They don't look like they're in very good shape. I don't think they can clear this fence before I can get away. So I'm just walking along this row of people scowling at me, scowling with all their hatred. And it's just then it occurs to me, these people don't believe in God either. Because if they did, they wouldn't have done any of that stuff. This entire scene is a sham. They don't believe any of that. Because if God came down here and saw what was going on, he would be angry with those people for their behavior, what they're doing. And you know who God would be really angry with? He'd be really angry with that dude in the black shirt with the white thing who's speaking in his name, telling everyone to be angry. And you know who God would really, really be angry at? The Pope. He would be so angry at the Pope and everyone. The Pope tells what to do, and all those people in charge who all speak for God. He would come back like the dad comes back and sees that the babysitter has written a list of commandments on the fridge. Because you know when the dad's away, or the parents are away, and the babysitter's there with the kids, sometimes you have a really, really bad babysitter. Oh, I'm never having a babysitter. Anyway, the really bad babysitter will write notes on the fridge and sign them, signed Dad, or signed Mom. You must do these things, signed Mom. And then they can sit there and say, you better do this stuff that I'm telling you, or else your parents are gonna get you when they come back. They're gonna be so angry. That's what's going on. The Pope and these priests and all these people are sitting there going, well, God told me to tell you this, and if you don't do it, you're going to HE double hockey sticks. Now, this just says to me that they don't really believe any of it. Because if they really believed it, could you imagine if you were that babysitter and you know that it's not just the parents coming back who are going to say, oh, you've done a very bad job, you have to leave. No, it's an all-powerful, vengeful creature coming back to send you into fiery HE double hockey sticks if you've done the wrong thing. And you're sitting there speaking for this dude the whole time, making up rules, writing books, making commandments, making all these speeches, and the whole while saying, and it's God's will. I'm speaking for God right now. Yeah, I know he's not here, but I'm doing the thing. Everyone hand over your money, or God will be angry with you. God is gonna, if any of that was real, God would come back and be so, what have you done, you idiots? Anyway, so that's why I don't believe any of the entire thing. Not because of all, not because, it doesn't make sense. And I don't think it makes sense anyway. But the biggest, the most compelling evidence for me that there is no God and the whole thing is a sham is that the people who are most strongly saying that yes, there is a God, they're behaving in the way that is most contrary to that statement. Because they would be in serious trouble, dudes. I think that's everything I had to say about that.